Okay, in today's video, we are going to be going over the Tradingview PineScript RMA, and we're going to be turning that into some Python code, and it also works with JavaScript as well. I'm going to make the code like JavaScript friendly so you can kind of read it if you're a JavaScript person. But ultimately, the main thing is we're going to just doing it in Python using Numpy. And the RMA is the weighted moving average that's used with the RSI, but it is also used as the default smoother for the ATR. So if we look at the ATR here, you'll see that RMA is the choice right here. So you have RMA, SMA, EMA, WMA. And if we check right here at the settings, you'll see that smoothing is set to RMA. So it's used for that as well. And yeah. So what we'll do is I'm going to show you guys, I use my backtester to download the candles. We'll split them all up. And I'm going to show you guys over here that we have the RMA calculated. We'll do some calculations. I'll show you guys exactly how it's done. Here, I'm just printing out the RSI. And then here, again, this is all in my backtester, which you guys can use. It's showing you the RSI that is calculated exactly like Tradingview. Because if we look over here, well, anyways, I've already made a video on that, so you guys can check that out if you guys are interested. And yeah, and so you guys can see here that hopefully through this video, I've earned your trust, and you want to use my backtester. It's completely free. But if you don't want to use the backtester, I hope that you are able to learn exactly what it is that you're looking for in this video. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to be talking about more about the backtester and all of that other stuff. We're able to do 20 million different combinations in less than 2 minutes, whereas the regular Python style, 200,000 takes 3 minutes. So we are like 70 times more information done faster. So you guys want to make sure that you guys pay attention to all of that, okay? And to sum all that up afterwards, after we do the whatever it's called, the strategy, we'll be able to go through this thing that I made. This is not TradingView, by the way. This is my own thing that I made. And you'll be able to see where we entered and exited the trades of the strategy that we're running. Just simple like RSI is below strategy and all of that fun stuff. All right? Okay. So, let's begin some of the coding here. So that means that we need to switch back over. Oh, yeah. There's an all my links thing down there below. You guys can join the Discord or Telegram if you guys have any questions, and some of my other YouTube links. So what's going on here though? Well, ultimate formula here, the formula for the RMA is alpha times source plus 1 minus alpha times RMA 1. And for whatever reason, in PineScript, 1 means the previous. So they basically do the opposite of how JavaScript and Python, and this basically means the previous one. And the alpha is 1 over length. And so you can see here the difference between the EMA and the RMA. Okay, and I've done a video on the EMA as well. So you guys can check that out as well. And so, yeah, if we're looking at this is the same exact thing, except here it's showing you that they're basically saying if the previous sum is nan, then we're going to get the SMA. Oh yeah, this is for the RSI, never mind. We are just, this right here is specifically the RMA right here, okay? So if we do that, this, well, no, this is actually the RSI, I'm sorry, this is the RMA. So yeah, if the previous sum, 1 is nan, then we're going to fill that with the SMA, okay? And we've already done the SMA. If we look over here, we have the SMA calculated right here to just get the cumulative sum divided by, you know, blah, 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 all that simple stuff there. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into this. So let's go ahead and delete this. So we've already downloaded the candles. Again, I'm using the backtester. It's very, very simple, but you can get your candles from anywhere. There just needs to be open, high, low, close. Very, very simple, but, you know, again, I built this thing for a reason. And let's see. So in order to calculate the RMA, the first thing that we need to do is let's do some like RMA calculator. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to need is a source. That's going to be a Numpy array, or if you're doing JavaScript, it's just an array. It's a function. And this, so we're gonna pass this so that we don't have any errors. And the other thing is we're gonna need the length. That's gonna be an int. All right. And so the first thing that we need to do is alpha. I guess I should. So the first thing that we're gonna need is the alpha, right? So we're gonna do alpha equals 1 divided by the length. And why are we doing that? Well, like we have discussed earlier, the alpha is actually this. And so then after that, we are going to need to create an empty list RMA equals np.full like. And again, I'm just using NumPy. And so I've installed NumPy as np. So import NumPy as np. And I need to make this bigger so you guys can see. All right. And yeah, so full like, and we are going to fill that with source. So we want it to be the size of source is what we need. The size of source, because it's just going to be a one-dimensional array. And we want to fill it with np.nan. So again, if you're using JavaScript, I'm not exactly sure about the exact syntax, but you should be able to understand and follow along with this. This is pretty simple. You're just basically filling you're filling an array with the size of source with nan values. Okay, and like we said earlier, the way Tradingview does it is it says if our first value for sum, which in this situation is the RMA, because again, this is what it is. Sum. So we have alpha source, alpha RMA. So that would be alpha source, alpha RMA. So sum is RMA. So if our previous, right? Previous, that's what this means. Previous RMA is nan, then we're going to fill it with the SMA. Okay? And all that is so we're going to do RMA equals source, and we're going to do 1 through length. Okay. And so the reason that we're doing the 1 to the length plus 1 is we want to grab from the first all the way to the 14th. So if this is 14, it's going to do plus 1 is 15, which basically, when you're using NumPy and different things like that, you don't actually use the last one. You go up to 14, and then it tries to go to 15, and it says, no, we can't do that. So we got to do the 14. And why are we doing that? Well, if we go up here and we look at the RSI, so for the RSI, you completely skip the first one because you can't get the change of this initial price to a price previous to that, because there's no more prices previous to that. So you start out at the second one, and so you'd start out at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then you have your average right here. And so that's what we're doing here. 1, because again, according to Tradingview, according to Tradingview's own words, for the RMA, it said that, let's see, moving average used in RSI. That's what it says for RMA. So this is like RSI moving average. Okay, and so that is exactly what it is that we are going to be doing here. Let's see. That's interesting. All right, so now that we have that, we are going to be moving forward with the rest of this. So now that we have our SMA, basically, which is, again, you add up all these things and you find what the mean is of it, because that's what it says to do right here. We've stored that as our first value. The next thing that we need to do is do a for loop, I in range plus 1 RMA dot size. And so what are we doing here? We're going to start a for loop at length plus 1 because we already stored the value of length right here into the RMA. And I is just going to start at 15 and go up to the RMA size that we have created for ourselves. And we're going to do RMA I equals alpha times source I plus 1 minus alpha times RMA, and then this one's going to be I minus 1, because again, according to how TradingView does it, this is sum 1, which is basically the previous, right? So this is the previous one. So for this, we want to grab the previous RMA, which at the very first time is going to be this one right here, which is basically the SMA, the mean of it. All right. And after we've done that, we're basically done. So you just return RMA. And there you have it. So I'm going to test this. I mean, I've already shown you with the RSI that it works. And so you can see it over here that we have this RMA over here that we were using to calculate the RSI. So you can see here, RSI calculation. We go through and do all of the stuff that we need to do. And then we do an RMA calculation 2, which basically takes two sources, because we have to have the gains and the losses, and so it applies that, which is RMA calc 2 is basically the same thing as RMA calculation, except it just takes two sources instead of one. So we basically do the same thing twice. And so after we do that, you basically have it, because you can see here alpha times source plus 1 minus alpha times the previous RMA, and that's what we have. Alpha times source plus 1 alpha times RMA previous, and what it is. And so let's just go ahead. I'll just show you guys again. RSI equals RMA, or let's see, RSI calculation. I'm going to say close, and we're going to say 14. We've stored the RSI. And let's check to make sure that it actually is the correct thing. Well, let's actually just rerun everything. So we download the latest. Oh my God, 800 candles. Why are we downloading 800 candles? Okay. Well, it still didn't take that long, but you can see here we have the RSI, and let's just get the last 10. Let's see, -10. And we're going to compare that with the Mufex chart that we have here. I use Mufex. You guys can check that out. It's linked in the description box below if you guys like to use this. It's a DEX. I really like this DEX. But anyways, so you see here 50.7, say 45.6, 50.7 and 45.6. 50.7, 45.6, 46.4. 46.4 basically, 47.8. 47.8 basically here. So you guys can see that it's basically exactly like the RSI, and using the RMA as a smoother. And so we're also using the RMA as a smoother because we're going to be creating the ATR, which again, like I shown you guys earlier, that the ATR is using the RMA as a smoother by default. I've already tested it by my and it works, but I'm going to be talking about it in another video as well. So you can see here, this is just basically the ATR calculation. Again, make sure you guys stay tuned for that if you guys would like that that video. But for now, as promised, now we have taken this. With my backtester, I've created some dynamic order settings that you can do, like how much you want to risk, how many trades that you want to possibly get into. And the reason why we have this num candles here is because most backtesters work in a way that is completely unrealistic. You'll just, like, let's say you just download this whole entire data, then it'll create one gigantically long thing like this, and then it'll start testing your strategy based off of this indicator, which is not true, because in no real world situation do you have all that data and it just stays stagnant like that. You grab like chunks at a time of data, and so let's say that you have, I don't know, this much data, and that means that you don't have this next candle to go off of. And so what my backtester does is we move in 100 candle windows like this. So every new candle, it'll recalculate this little section of the RSI and then recalculate it, recalculate. So there is no like future using future data to give you past results. It's only calculating off of this window like you do in actual live trading. Okay, so that's what makes us a little bit different. And so anyways, we have all these different order settings here, and we grab the exchange data about like the limit fees and the market fees and all of that other fun stuff, and we run it through this simulation. And once we do that, you can see here we've got over 1,300 results that show you the total trades, the wins, the losses, the gains percentage, the win rate, and all that other stuff. So we've basically done that. The strategy that we've created is right here. And it's basically just a simple like RSI is below strategy. So you can see here strategy evaluate. And you know, we have some other functions here that, anyways, if you want to know more about this, this is not a video to explain exactly how every little detail works, but if you guys would like more information on this, just stay tuned to the channel. I'm going to be uploading information there, but I'm also offering free programming lessons, one-on-one lessons. If you guys actually pass the test, I guess you could say, then I'm offering it for free. But if not, then you know it is a paid service, or you can just come to me and say, hey, I have a strategy, I want you to make it for me and backtest it for me, because this can also go live. This backtester can also go live. Okay, and by live I mean live. Well, like I said, I'm not here to play any games. This is hooked up to a live server. So what I've done is I've gotten on my testnet account here. You can see we're going to just create a little bit of a market order. And so I'm going to execute that, and you guys will be able to see, boom, it happens. So this is ready to go. You basically can create your strategy, go live with it. You can see here we have a live mode where it actually sends all this information over to the exchange. And you guys can also see here that if I double click on my log of my current running strategy, you'll be able to see that it has been running and it's still just getting information constantly back from the exchange all the way up until right now. Testing, you know, hey, there's no trade, we're not in strategy yet, whatever, sleeping till we get to the next bar, all of that fun stuff, okay? So you can, this is a one-stop shop, come and backtest, all that fun stuff. Like I said, I'm here to help you out. This is free to use. If you need help, if you want to learn how to trade, if you want to learn about trading, if you want to learn any of that other stuff, you can just join the Discord, join the Telegram, which is linked down below. Like I said, it should look something like this, and blah, 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 blah. And again, after you have ran all of that stuff, then you come down here all the way. You can see each and every single entry that was filled, take profit that was filled, all that fun stuff. And if you get over to the pro version, which basically means you actually know how to code and all this other stuff, I'll give you access to the pro version for free as of right now. You send it over, and that means that you'll come over here and you'll just run it. And again, this is what I created. It's not on Tradingview. You'll be able to see exactly what happened. You can see here how we have entered the trade, where our stop loss was, where our take profits were, where our entries were. We took profit here. Then you can see here we have trailed our stop loss. We've moved forward. We're trailing our stop loss again, but we took profit. We got into another trade. We trailed our stop loss. We got our trailing stop loss got executed, and then here we get into another trade, and so on. And you can actually see this happening in real time too. So you can see it's actually printing out all of the candles and stuff like that. So you can watch the replay. So yeah, hopefully I have earned your subscription, earned your trust in wanting to be able to actually use the backtester. The more people that are using it, the better. And yeah, join the Discord, join the community. The goal is to just build a pretty solid Discord community, pretty solid Telegram community of algorithmic traders who are also interested in doing this stuff as well. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that little bit of a rundown. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Just join with the all my links thing down there. And again, if you have any questions, that's where you go when you join the Discord community or join the Telegram community, and I can help you out there. Anyways, this is the RMA, and I'll catch you guys next time.